This was my first flight since flight camp in January. Today is August the 30th. It's been a while. How much can I remember? I'll find out in hour 6. Also in this flight, I plan to test my new and older gadgets, a Bose A30 headphones, my GoPro Hero 10 and a Tascam audio recorder and a bunch of cables and adapters. On a beautiful and sunny Wednesday morning, I was back in the car and on the long drive to Camden Aerodrome for my first lessons since flight camp. I've scheduled 2 flights with Greg, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. I had a call with Greg a few days earlier and so I had a rough idea of what to expect. I knew that revision was definitely happening in this morning and perhaps a bit more practice in the afternoon, but I'd only know for sure during the pre-flight briefing. In this first day back, I also wanted to try out some new and some older equipment. First and foremost, my top-of-the-line Bose A30 headset. Yes, they are expensive, but small planes are extremely loud and pilots need best active cancellation they can get. The A30 only came out a few months ago as a better version of the A20, which is also excellent. I plan to fly for a long time, so I felt justified to get the best headset I could afford. In my flight, the A30 felt comfortable for the entire hour. Audio was very good. I could hear Greg easily and the ATC was also clear once I increased the volume a bit. The straight cable and the clips are well designed to prevent the cable from getting tangled. I kept the control unit on my lap, but I'll look for a better position and use the clip for better ergonomics. I preferred to keep my lap clear for things like the checklists and a notepad. So after a grand total of 1 hour using the Bose A30, I can confidently say it was definitely worth the money. Also in my flight bag was a GoPro Hero 10, a Tascam DR22WL audio recorder and cables for connecting the Tascam to the airplane's intercom and audio. Part of my plan for my flight log series is to video record all of my flights. I want to keep a full record of my lessons so I can share them with you and to learn from my mistakes. I knew that Alpha Hotel Hotel has a mounting point for the GoPro, but I didn't know exactly where it was and what kind it is. So without this, it was hard to know what type of adapter to bring along. So I took a few candidate adapters to see if one of them would match, but unfortunately, once I got to the airplane, none of my GoPro adapters matched the mounting point, so I have no video for this flight. For the next flight, I think I do know what adapter to use, so I'll be good with that. But the audio recorder and the cables did work, and I was able to get an audio recording for the entire flight. This is what my first call to the ATC sounded like.
Camden ground. This is
No. That's the button there, not the red one.
What's this for?
That's the autopilot disconnect.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Okay, let's try this again. Camden ground. This is Alpha Hotel Hotel at the Scout hangar with information Charlie requesting permission to taxi.
Alpha Hotel Hotel Camden ground taxi to holding point Alpha runway 06.
What to do?
So he gave us permission if I... Sorry.
Taxi holding point Alpha runway 06, Alpha Hotel Hotel.
The call was okay, I guess, though there was a few things to improve. First, press the radio button, not the autopilot disconnect button to transmit. And second, every response from ATC must be acknowledged by reading back the instruction to the controller. I totally forgot about that, but Greg luckily had my back. This flight was a revision of everything I'd learned in the flight camp. Greg gave me a briefing before the flight to explain the various exercises and determine how much I might remember from January. As everything in aviation, there's a syllabus and every lesson is detailed in it to help keep in sync with the exercises, know what is coming up and rehearse in my head or the simulator. I use the flying training manual from Aviation Theory Center. In this flight, I was going to review and practice these exercises. There are many other bits and pieces that I refreshed in this 6-hour flight, such as checklists for everything. I practiced normal start, after start checklists, taxi checks, engine run-up, normal takeoff, after landing checks, shutdown checks, then also refueling and doing a fuel drain check, or Greg actually did the check, I did the refueling. and doing a pre-flight inspection, which includes a long list of items to check that I will not include here, but they are in the flying training manual. Finally, all the checks were done and it was time to take off, and Greg said I could do it. That was the most exciting part up to that point. Here's the audio from the takeoff, and a little bit more from the first few minutes of the flight when I practiced climbing, turning, trimming and holding altitude.
Okay.
Alpha Hotel, depart crosswind 06 feet for takeoff.
Depart crosswind 06, clear for takeoff, Alpha Hotel.
Your plane?
All right.
Oh, my plane.
Captain Tower,
Your plane.
Okay.
Papa Victor Delta, overhead runway 06.
Okay, so let's put it on the center line,
810 crosswind.
and then I want you to apply full power.
100,
I'll help you if need be.
Okay.
All right, so apply full power.
1810 crosswind now.
Keep it tracking down the center line. Full power, push it all the way in.
All the way in.
That's it. Feed off the brakes in case they're on.
No brakes.
All right. Airspeed's alive.
Airspeed alive.
Static RPM is good.
Yeah.
Temperatures and pressures are good.
Yep.
60 knots. Rotate. Just pull it back a little. That's it. Not too much.
Delta, hold short
Right.
runway 28.
It just wants to fly.
Yep.
Okay, I've got a bit of right rudder.
That's good.
Am
All right. So now,
I going too
you
far?
see, just put the nose down just a little because we want 74 knots.
Approach number 2 for the
Speed.
Yeah,
Sorry,
speed's here.
speed.
So 74 knots. Now trim. 1, 2.
1, 2.
Keep it straight.
All
All right. What's that nose do? Oh, wait. Sorry.
Should I? Yeah. I went the other way. See, I pulled it up.
Nose.
For 1, 2,
Well,
yeah.
normally you have to do that.
Okay.
Go November Mike.
Yeah. Just let's get. I've forgot to set the gyro. There we go. All right.
So that's right.
Just let it go for a moment. See, the nose wants to pitch right up. So,
ready for departure.
So 70 knots.
all right, we've got to turn
November.
crosswind.
So, am I
Turn
turning?
crosswind. Yes, your aeroplane now.
My airplane.
All right, 15 degrees is between those two lines there. So
A
a
little
little bit more.
All
All right, don't forget you got to look outside as well.
Yeah.
Right.
This is
See,
VFR.
you need a little bit of left rudder now.
Captain Tower, be
And
ready
a right rudder.
for the procedure request.
No, left. Yeah, left rudder.
Yeah, coming up to 1,300. So what do we have to do?
So go
Keep the
level.
turn going.
Continue to turn. Push forward.
Push
to
forward.
level.
Yeah, wait for the airspeed. You've got to hold it there. Wait. Wait. All right, now bring the power back.
Power back. At about 23.
3. Now, trim. You see how it wants to pitch up?
So trim a
Yeah.
little down.
No, 2 up. 2 nose down, sorry. Nose
Yeah.
down.
Okay.
So 2 forward.
Crosswind, clear station go. Runway 06. No, Papa
Right.
Delta.
All right, just let it go.
So speed is about 110 now.
Yep, that's all right. See how the nose is just staying there? We're maintaining 1,300.
Okay.
As you can hear from this recording, the pilot workload is high. There's always a procedure to do and to aviate, navigate and communicate. I left the navigation and communication to Greg, but even simply aviating was a lot of work for me. By the end of the hour, I felt very tired. Around 50 minutes later, we started to prepare for landing. This was a revision lesson and it felt good being in the plane. I felt I could control the plane. Definitely not with sufficient accuracy. My altitude hold had a slack of 10 or minus 100 feet and my turning had a slack of 10 or minus 10 degrees of bank, so it's quite significant. And I was unable to keep an active listening on the radio because all of my bandwidth was taken up by controlling the plane and looking out the window for traffic. But I'm not in a hurry. I'm sure that I'll get to a semi-competent level of piloting in a few more lessons. Unfortunately, we were unable to do the second flight in the afternoon because of a massive weather system with a lot of rain and wind came in. I was driving in heavy rain for 2 hours to get home. Flying with a small plane in that weather was not an option. I was very lucky with the weather in the morning though. Nice temperature, around 15 degrees centigrade, and light winds is as good as it gets. In my next lesson, I'll continue to practice the exercises from today. After this, and assuming that I'm decent, competent with all these exercises, I'll start with the circuit exercises, which means takeoffs, landings, and flying within the circuit pattern. Rumor has it that this is an extremely stressful situation for student pilots. I'll know soon. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video. And of course, you can also head over to my detailed flight training log pages on the Tech Explorations website. In these pages, I document in detail all of my experiences and learnings from each one of my training flights. These logs contain a goldmine of information for any aviation student or anyone interested in aviation. Until next time, I wish you clear skies and safe landings.